Yeah, 'cause he's intentional.
Make the screen big.
Never failing. I know that all things are working for my good. Yeah. Never failing. All things are working for my good. Intentional. Hey, and he's never failing.
All things are working for my good. It's intentional.
Never failing.
Hello.
All things are
working for my good.
All things are working for my good. Yes, all things are working for my good. The working for my good. All right, hands up, straight. We can start because we know it's working. Through the hurt and the pain, I know it's working for my good. I know it's working for my good. This my part. I don't have to worry, 'cause it's working for me. Yeah, it's working for me. Yeah. And I believe it's working for me.
Yeah. Welcome to Dr. Feel Good Inside Out. Sometimes another wonderful Saturday. In some moments we started.
Come on, sing that out, say that. Working for me, working for me, working. I can hold my head and hey, get your company back. I don't have to worry. It's working for me. Hey, my faith is right now. And although I can't see how, I know that he's intentional. Yes, he is.
Are you there? Welcome. Once again, you're welcome to Dr. Feel Good Inside Out Talk Time. Yeah, it's good. It's good. We have, yes. Yeah, I don't. Yes, tell us coming in 15 minutes, 4:15. We are going to have our guest at 4:15. At 4:15, we are going to invite our guest for today. And I see people are still coming in timidly. In that case, we need to dance a bit. You know, I need to warm up my guest before she comes on today. Remember, we are still having the same guest like last week. We are going to have a special guest today. So let's see how we can warm up again and get her a mode, as a Frenchman would say. Yeah, let's see what we can. What? Okay, we're going to continue this music. Afterwards, during our dance time, I was just trying to catch up with time. You are all once again welcome to Dr. Feel Good Inside Out Talk Time. Today we are continuing the same topic like last week, juvenile delinquency. That's what we're going to. Last week, remember very well, we elaborated a bit on the causes of juvenile delinquency, and we finally concluded that the bottom line is the home. The bottom line is the home. You parents, we parents, we are all involved. We are all responsible. We are responsible. And we gave a number of reasons. One of the most important reasons is a marital home. Is this child coming from a separated home, from a home where the parents are quarreling all the time, from a home where the parents are suffering from some psychological problems? It's coming from a home where there are too many children and he feels that he's neglected. Those are some of the causes that we raised. And I want to thank God very much because we're having another day still to talk about this thing. And I believe God is going to take us somewhere. Please like, share. You may impact somebody's life today with this message, because today we're going to talk what are the possible solutions. How can we handle some of these problems? Because whether I like it or not is there. Every day we'll keep hearing one after another. Last week here in Douala, another child, another secondary school child, after fighting with a friend, decided to go home and look for a sharp cutlass and came and cut the friend's hand completely until he fell. That's horrible. Those are things that were never heard in the past. Yet we are hearing them today. Oh, Florence, merci beaucoup, coucou. Comment va Paris aujourd'hui? Merci beaucoup. So those type of things are the things that you need to worry about. We need to worry about and see what can we do to change the society, because our fear is for the generation to come. After us, how is this world going to look like? That's the question. And we insisted also on moral education. A lot of things are lost. I remember somebody wrote and asked, these days they don't bring up children. If the child doesn't belong to the village, it belongs to an individual. Meanwhile, when we're growing up, the child was a child for the village. Village means that what? Everybody had right to discipline that child. Everybody around the community had right to shout at the child if you see the child doing something wrong. They had a right to shout at them. But today, if you shout at the child, you are in problem. The parent will come and attack you. Or if it's a teacher, teachers are so much in problems. If it's a teacher, some parents leave and even go to school to go and attack the teacher. Why on earth did you shout at my child? Why did you beat my child? And all those things. So there's a very, very important topic that we are handling today. It's very, very important, and we all should know that we need to do something. If we don't do something, it's going to become really, really bad, really, really bad. Yes. So we also had issues like, antisocial parents. There's some parents who are just totally antisocial, and these poor children don't feel like, opening up to them. And of course, they'll go to their peers. And usually from the peers, they don't get the real thing. They always get the wrong thing. Donc, voilà, bienvenue aujourd'hui encore, c'est Dr. Fou les samedis et je vous dis merci, merci parce que vous avez bien pensé à partager votre samedi avec nous sur ces plateformes, sur ces plateaux et je suis très content, ça me va droit au cœur et ma prière c'est que le bon Dieu vous récompense pour ce que vous faites. Donc aujourd'hui, on va continuer de parler de ces enfants délinquants. La dernière fois, on a parlé un peu de comment, quelles sont les causes probables. Pourquoi les enfants deviennent-ils délinquants? On a parlé de ça avant et on a dit la base de tout ça, c'est la façon qu'on a élevé cet enfant dans la famille, qui est l'unité le plus petite dans une communauté. Donc, si les parents ne sont pas les parents qui connaissent élever un enfant, ça va poser problème. Et on voit ça beaucoup plus dans les maisons où les parents sont séparés, il y a toujours les querelles dans la famille, il y a parfois même, il y a beaucoup des enfants, la polygamie avec beaucoup des enfants, et cet enfant, sans qu'il est un peu négligé, personne n'a son temps, et c'est là où il va commencer à aller faire beaucoup de mauvaises choses, il commence à demander à ses camarades de classe, il veut copier ce que les camarades sont en train de faire, et c'est très, très important. C'est très important. Et tout de suite, on va entrer dans le vif sujet aujourd'hui parce qu'on va faire venir notre invité spécial. Notre invité spécial de ces jours, comme j'ai dit la dernière fois, c'est la même personne. C'est la même personne. C'est la même personne, notre invité spécial, je vais l'annoncer tout à l'heure, c'est quelqu'un, bon, comme j'ai dit la dernière fois, je suis fière de dire que c'est ma propre grande sœur. Il y a quelqu'un qui a regardé le vidéo après la dernière, il dit, mais je sens une ressemblance entre vous. Je dis, mais si tu as bien suivi dès le début, je vous ai bien dit que c'est ma grande sœur. Je vous ai bien dit que c'est ma grande sœur. Et c'est ça, c'est ça. So today we are going to welcome our guest. Our guest for today is no other but my own senior sister. But she's on this platform not because she's my sister. No, 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 no. She's coming on this platform of feel good inside out because she's loaded with a whole baggage of knowledge. You know, having been a secondary school teacher for more than 33 years, she's 33 years, she just went on retirement, and she's an educationist, as I can say. Not just that, she's a mother of so many children. She's brought up so many children, and she's known to be a disciplinarian. She's known to be a disciplinarian, and I love her for that because she's a no-nonsense person. So if you are a child or you're staying with her, oh, she puts you right. Or if you are a teacher in class, she doesn't want people to go, you know, wayward. And that's why I'm so happy, excited to welcome our guest today, who is no other but Mrs. Chrissy Tima. Please, can we clap for her?
Hello, hi.
Now I see your face.
Dr. Feel Good Inside Out.
Inside out. There I go. Yes, I'm so glad to have you back on air. Yes, because we thank God and we continue to pray that the connection remains perfect till the end, because I believe God is going to see us through. Yeah. So, Mrs. Tima, you are welcome. I just tried to give them a brief summary of what we did last week. You know, I tried to just highlight some of the points we raised last week and to let them know that today we're going to talk more about, you know, how to handle these children, the solution, what could be done at every level, family level, community level, national level. And I'm glad to have you here. And I'll go over the floor to you. Please, if you have any comment, just put it on the message box. Or question, I'll get back. I'll tell her what you've written and we'll see. Okay. Over to you. Beautiful, sweet lady. You look so beautiful today again. Yeah. Okay.
I just want to thank you again and to thank God for making it possible that my own sister can be running such an important program, because we see the society is going through a lot of moral degradation and there's a lot of moral decadence. And that is why we have to talk about this whole thing of juvenile delinquency, because truly the society needs it. We need to change the way things are done. We need to change the way.
It's as if there's too much light in your back. Too much light. Can you just still? Yes, that's good now. That's better. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we need to change
Yes, that's better
parents
now.
need to go back to how children were properly raised and how children are supposed to be properly raised. In fact, when we started the first part of the
Yes,
program, I took us back to Proverbs, which says, if you train up a child in the way he should grow, when he is old, he will not depart from it. And so we need to
yes,
train
right.
very well. We actually looked at the causes of juvenile delinquency. Last time we took enough time to elaborate on that. And in fact, I want to say that the emphasis here was on the role of the family, which is the smallest unit of the society and which is the most basic unit and the first school of the child.
The
The
volume is as if your phone. The volume is too low. In the beginning, the volume was very good. Why is it low now?
Okay, I don't
Okay, talk
know.
now. Let me hear.
All
Talk
right.
now. Let me
So
hear.
I was
Okay,
just
it's
saying,
good now.
all right. I was just saying that if families could assume even the biblical role given to them, because children are a blessing from God. And so parents have the responsibility to raise these children well because they are just caretakers of God's creation. And so if we could go back to assume that parental role, then the family as the smallest unit of the society will assume its perfect role of raising good children, good citizens, and the society as a whole will have good citizens. And so, if we today are to look at we also had looked at some of the major effects of this on the effects of this juvenile delinquency. We saw that the effects were very multifaceted, and maybe just as a little reminder, I think we'll look at the effects today before we go to look at the solutions, the proposed solutions that we have. By 2015, Cameroon had no separate penal system for children. Kids who were arrested were just jailed beside adult criminals. But a non-profit center for
We're
human
having problem with your volume. Your
rights.
volume. I don't know why.
Are you getting me now?
We
Hello?
are getting you. It's just that it's too low.
Okay. What do I do? This is the highest, this is the best that
Ah,
I have.
but then now it's very clear. It's very loud now. Okay,
Okay,
just stay
fine.
like that. Just
All
stay
right,
like
good.
that.
All right, okay, okay. Probably it's a network
Mm,
problem. Yeah, so I
yes,
was just saying,
network.
but a non-profit center for human rights and peace advocacy since 2015,
Mm-hmm,
masterminded by the European Union, is actually leading the juvenile justice reform program in
mm-hmm,
Cameroon to protect kids from harsh conditions and negative influence of prisons. And so this
mm-hmm.
pilot program counsels children and helps to reintegrate them in their communities. And so we see that
Okay.
this behavioral therapy is a very much appreciated alternative to sending these children to prisons where they meet with hardened criminals and they come out worse than before they went there.
Before. Mm-hmm.
So, in looking at the effects again, we just want to look at, I think we need to look at the effects of this so that we can link it up now with the solutions. The juvenile delinquency poses a very serious problem on the life in the community. It has even an effect on the victims. It has an effect on the juveniles, the delinquents themselves. It has a
Yes.
serious effect on the family structure and functioning. It has an effect also on the school system, and it affects even the government. Now, I want us to look at the effects on the juvenile delinquent himself. Most of the time,
Okay.
these juvenile delinquents tend to be males. They gradually are integrating the females into it, but I think about 80% of them are males. And so first, there is this loss of freedom because of incarceration, whether they are kept
Mm-hmm.
in detention centers while awaiting trial, or they are actually kept in reformation centers while waiting rehabilitation and reintegration into the society. They
Mm-hmm.
lose their freedom. And
Okay.
then many of them also have suffered as school dropouts. They become school dropouts, and we know what that means because they now go into gangsterism and all of that. Then they have
Okay.
contact with
Please,
what criminals and
we forgot a bit the rule. We forgot a bit the rule of the game. I need to try to translate. Let me try. Yes, donc soyez la bienvenue encore à Dr. Feelgood Inside Our Talk Time. Et aujourd'hui, on est toujours avec Madame Tima Chrissy, une éducationniste chargée d'expérience depuis plus de 33 ans à 35 ans qu'elle élève les enfants. Elle est professeure du lycée. Et on est en train de parler maintenant des solutions. Parce que la semaine passée, on a parlé des causes. Et parmi les solutions, elle a dit, hein, parmi les effets, il a dit la personne qui est plus touchée, c'est cette délinquance, cet enfant. Et il y a la société de quoi qui a fait des études et on a trouvé que presque 80% des garçons. Bien sûr que les filles commencent déjà à ajouter là-dedans, mais c'est plus les garçons. Et les effets sur ces garçons, c'est quoi? Ils finissent soit par perdre leur éducation, hein, ou bien ils sont fermés, c'est dans la close up. They lose their freedom. So that close up, ils sont fermés, perdent leur liberté, ils perdent leur liberté. Tu vois, parce que ils sont dans la société, ils sont un peu vus comme des mauvaises personnes. Parfois, il est en prison pendant des années. Oui, donc on continue. Je vais essayer d'interpréter au fur et à mesure qu'on parle, que je n'oublie pas.
Yeah, I wish I could do it. It would have made your work easier. Thank you.
I know.
And then we also see that it has a lot of effects too, even on the delinquents themselves, as when they get in contact with hardened criminals in the detention centers, they tend to be repeat offenders. So they tend to just become hardened, and even once out of prison, they do the same, they commit the same crimes, and they seem to prefer that kind of jail life. They become jailbirds. And then, yeah, there's also a serious effect on the victims. Imagine a little girl of 6 who is raped by a boy of 13, and maybe a gang of 4 who rape a little girl and really render her terribly harmed. So she is so traumatized that for the rest of her life, she even becomes scared of even seeing a boy or seeing a man in the physical. The trauma is left there, and it becomes a very serious problem. So there's a lot of psychological trauma that goes with it for the victims, and then there is the crime leads even to loss of self-esteem. The victims feel undervalued, and they feel not esteemed, and they lack self-confidence even to move on with the rest of their life. They actually feel worthless, especially in cases of rape. And then there's also on the victims. Some of the victims have to go through expenses of replacing damaged things. Take, for instance, a child who becomes a drug addict in a home, and then he destroys a lot of things in the home or in the workplace or in school. It becomes also a very serious effect on him. So I think you can translate that before we move on.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me time to translate, because the stuff is so much in your head that is just flowing. Okay, once again, let me translate. But before I translate, please, you need to like and love and share this video. We need to like, love, we need to touch somebody's life. Remember, feel good inside out, bringing out the best version of you. Donc, je suis en train de dire, il faut aimer et partager ces vidéos parce que tu peux être une bénédiction pour quelqu'un aujourd'hui. Elle est toujours en train de parler des effets sur les victimes, sur ces délinquantes. Et elle a dit que parfois, ces délinquants, dès qu'il sort, il commet encore l'autre crime pour rentrer là-bas. À un moment, pour eux, c'est comme un jeu. Ils aiment ça même. Ils finissent par aimer même ce style de vie. Donc, il est dedans et dehors, et dedans et dehors. Toute sa vie fait comme ça. Et il y a une situation qu'elle a posée et il dit que, mais imaginez une petite fille de 6 ans qui a été violée par un garçon de 14 ans. Et parfois, c'était même pas, ils n'étaient pas seuls, ils étaient peut-être à 3. Quelles sont les conséquences? Pas seulement sur ces garçons, mais sur ces petites filles. Donc, vous voyez qu'il y a des traumas psychologiques qui entrent dans tout ça. Et la personne veut ou pas être traumatisée. Et elle a même peur de voir les hommes dans sa vie et dit, je ne peux plus. Et ces garçons qui sont des rapistes, des violeurs, comment on dit ça, ils prennent goût de ça et ils continuent à faire ça aussi. Tu vois, donc ils sont en train de traumatiser toute une communauté à cause de ce qu'il fait. Et puis, veut ou pas, ça finit par baisser leur confiance personnelle. Tu vois une fille, elle n'est pas sûre d'elle-même, et quand tu veux bien creuser, elle te dit que j'ai été violée quand j'avais tel âge, et ça, je pense que je suis même pas utile, je n'ai aucune valeur de vivre et tout ça. Ça les traumatise beaucoup. Et il y a parfois les garçons aussi qui sont les drogués, et quand ils prennent ces drogues, ils réagissent de façon brutale. Parfois, c'est les choses qui cassent partout à la maison, ils détruisent des choses que même quand on les récupère, il y a aussi des dépenses matérielles, donc financières à payer parce que il faut remplacer certains de ces matériels qu'ils ont cassés et tout ça. Donc, on voit que les effets sont vraiment énormes sur ces délinquantes-là. Il faut pas que l'enfant arrive à ces stades. Yes. So, thank you. You can go on.
Yeah, and so besides that, there is an effect on the family situation. You see, when we're looking at the causes of this juvenile delinquency, we saw that the whole thing starts from the home. It starts from the upbringing of the child. The fact that the family brought up this child the wrong way, in most cases, there are very few families that will raise the children properly and have juvenile delinquents there, even though it could peer pressure. But generally speaking, when the family fails to take up its parental responsibility, then we have the consequences too, and they too will suffer. Because it is said that if you raise the child properly, you will be the one to benefit in future. If you raise the child badly, you will be the one to suffer in future. And so the family also suffers a lot of upheavals, and then the family is traumatized. And because of this, there is a lot of instability because of their relationship with other relatives in the family who find it hard to accept a child who is a juvenile delinquent in the family, because this goes a long way to bring down the reputation of the family. The family name is damaged and destroyed, and the family is psychologically rejected even in the community where they are. And so it poses a lot of problems. Besides this, the family has to go through a lot of stress running around to follow up the issues of the delinquent and to even try to raise money. So they go through a lot of financial stress to raise money, to have to hire lawyers to follow up the issues, especially when the child is taken to a detention center awaiting trial and all of that. It imposes a lot of pain on the family financially.
Donc, ce qu'elle est en train de dire, Madame Tima est en train de nous dire que quoi? On a parlé avant des effets sur le délinquant, donc sur l'enfant lui-même. Oh, yeah, wow, Venus, thanks for joining. How is UK today? Wow, thanks for joining, Rachel. You're welcome. I am live, oh. It's better late than never. That's right. The important thing is that you are on the show. You are right there. Donc, elle est en train de nous dire maintenant les effets sur la famille. Et il dit tout, quand on a vu la dernière fois, on a vu que tout commence par la famille, qui est l'unité le plus petite de la communauté. Donc, tout commence par la famille. Et c'est rare de voir les enfants qui sont bien élevés, qui finissent par être délinquants. C'est trop rare, mais ça peut arriver quand les enfants qui sont peut-être influencés par leurs peers, les enfants de son âge. Oui, mais l'effet sur la famille, c'est quoi? Ça finit par traumatiser la famille. Ça traumatise les parents qui ont ces enfants, même ses frères et sœurs sont traumatisés parce que dans la communauté, peut-être ils sont rejetés par les autres, on pointe les doigts, ou voilà la mère de l'enfant là qui casse partout, voilà la mère de l'enfant là qui détruit les choses. Vous voyez, ça devient un problème. Ça devient un problème. To connect again. Mon autre invité a disparu, il faut qu'il revienne. Yeah. Donc, ça devient un problème. Et le problème est vraiment psychologique. Parce que cette famille est psychologiquement rejetée. Ils sont rejetés et même au niveau familial, quand tu veux trop parler, on va te dire que mais tu parles même pour élever ton enfant, ça t'a dépassé. Voir comment elle est en train de faire ceci, faire cela. Donc, vous voyez un peu, c'est un problème. Et l'autre chose aussi qu'elle a beaucoup insisté, c'est le stress familial. Le stress familial sur le plan financier aussi. Donc, pas seulement psychologique, mais sur le plan financier aussi. Donc, on voit qu'il faut chercher un avocat. Peut-être on a fermé l'enfant au commissariat. Il faut commencer à courir là-bas au commissariat pour voir comment faire. Et vous voyez, rien n'est pour rien. Il faut dépenser de l'argent. Et tu vois, peut-être il faut changer les écoles de l'enfant. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui arrivent. Hein, qui sont des conséquences de tout ça. Il y a beaucoup de choses qui arrivent. Donc, voilà les choses qu'elle était en train de nous citer pour dire que quoi? Que les effets de ces enfants délinquants ne s'arrêtent pas seulement au niveau de l'enfant. Ah, ok, Florence dit que ça devient un drame familial. Oui, oh, le mot là est très bon. Ça devient un drame familial. Because the whole family is involved. It becomes a family drama. Drama per se. In fact, somebody just call the name of a child. Say, that Vivian's son. Oh, we know her. We know him. Oh, that way, if he comes near your house, just run away. Oh, because if you realize it, he'll steal your things, or he'll destroy this, or he'll rape your daughter. You know, some things. They are known in the community. These children are known around. In fact, when in the beginning, they may not know them, but as they keep doing it all the time, they are known for that. They are known for that. Yes, so we've done the translation. Vous comprenez maintenant tout ce qui peut arriver, tout ce qui peut arriver à ces enfants, à ces familles. Donc la famille, Florence a bien dit, ça devient un drame familial. Donc c'est un drame, et family drama. Donc c'est ça, oui, oui. Ismaël encore là, bon, elle continue. You can continue.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we have a little breakage. Yeah.
I can
Okay.
understand the network. Yeah.
So now we look at. I want us to look at the effect of this juvenile delinquency on the school system and education as a whole. You see, the family, like we said, is that unit that is the first informal school of the child. And so the school and the studio is the formal cradle of education. And this education is done in a situation where other children from other homes come together and knowledge is imparted onto them. And so when you have juvenile delinquencies, it also affects schooling and education as a whole. First, you have that there is a falling percentage of school enrollment, especially among the males, the teenage males and the adolescent males, because of this juvenile delinquency. Besides that, there's an increasing criminal activity now recorded in schools, especially in Cameroon. Of recent, we've heard of a lot of gangsterism in the school milieu. There's a lot of violence even among students, where students are attacking and killing others in the schools in Cameroon, even using knives, daggers, and other sharp objects like razor blades.
That's right.
Just early this week, I think late last week, a child's hand was cut off by another class banga after a fight in class. He just ran home, picked a cutlass, filed it, and chopped off the hand of his classmate. All of this is the result of drug abuse and juvenile delinquency. And then we had also last year a situation where there was group sex now organized by students. It's an abomination. It's something that is really unheard of before, even in the days when we went to school. And then you have this sex for marks in the school milieu, and you have a lot of delinquency going on as students are now involved in drug abuse and all of that, and even students inflicting violence on their teachers, and parents even who support some of the juveniles, the delinquents. They come even to school and beat up teachers. I mean, this used to be unheard of. This just takes us back to bad home upbringing of children, which spills far into the school milieu and on education. And in some situation, a teacher in Douala was even slapped by a parent for disciplining the child. And the child died in the hospital the next day. It was just terrible. And so we have a lot of this. And then we also have a drop in academic standards with the dropping performances as children are more involved in delinquency. Then we have the delinquency that has spilled over excuse me, from the homes.
Sorry. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Yes, you
Okay.
have a lot of violence now in homes because of this juvenile delinquency. Then there's a lot of peer pressure. So children nowadays, because of the fact that parents do not spend quality time with their children to give them the right education on lots of issues, especially concerning their sex life, they tend to pay attention to their peers, and then they get involved in abortions, they get involved in drugs, they get involved in group sex and all of that. And then
That's right.
we have increasing substance abuse in schools with the use of tramadol or istramol, with the use of Indian hemp,
Tramadol,
and even
tramadol.
other hard drugs. Yeah, and even other hard drugs and all of that. And all of this
Yeah.
is just because of the lack of moral guidance. And you
Mm-hmm.
realize that our school milieus instead have become a center for a lot of immorality. We knew that
Yes.
the school was a place for
Children,
reformation of children.
children leave their homes very innocent, and they
That
get to
is it.
school, and that's where they learn everything. Yeah,
They learn instead the bad things and the bad ways
that's
of
true.
going. And
That's
so
right.
we see that also there's increase in violence, even in the social cycles of these teenagers and adolescents. And so
Yeah.
these are really some of the consequences on the schools and education.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Donc, oh, thanks, oh, pay. Thanks for joining, patience. Thanks, dear. Thank you so much. Yeah, so now we've talked about the effect on the delinquent himself or herself, effect on the family, and now we just talk about effect on the school. School system. Donc, elle nous a parlé d'abord de l'effet sur le délinquant lui-même, l'effet sur la famille, et maintenant on est en train de parler de l'effet sur l'éducation, dans l'école, au niveau de l'école, en sachant que la formation qu'on a à la maison, c'est une formation informelle. Et l'enfant doit aller maintenant à l'école où il trouve les formations formelles. Et ce qui est mauvais, c'est que là-bas, il y a des enfants qui viennent de différents milieux, différents famille, niveau social, économique, tout ça est différent et ça commence à poser beaucoup de problèmes. Parce que nous, on croyait avant que l'école est là pour nous rendre droite, pour la discipline. Mais aujourd'hui, elle dit qu'on constate que l'école plutôt apprend même aux enfants à être délicate. Tu vois, les désirs des autres élèves qui sont là-bas. Tu vois les cas où le taux de criminalité augmente, violence, elle a parlé de l'histoire de couteau que j'ai parlé au début, qu'on a coupé la main de cet enfant-là. Tu vois que même les gens qui s'inscrivent pour aller à l'école, ça commence à baisser à un certain âge, parce que c'est comme si par rapport à un certain âge, beaucoup deviennent délicates et ils ne veulent même pas continuer l'école. Il y a des gens qui organisent même les sexes en groupe organisés par les élèves. Pas les élèves. Et puis, il y a des gens, les filles aussi, qui acceptent pour avoir le rapport sexuel avec les professeurs, pour avoir les notes, pour qu'on les donne les notes. Il y a des hommes qui droguent, même les filles qui droguent, le tramadol est en train de faire le dégât que ça fait, mais il y a des étudiants, les élèves qui continuent toujours à utiliser ça. Et quand les parents veulent parler, quand le professeur veut parler, les parents se fâchent très souvent. Tu n'as pas le droit à parler de mon enfant comme ça. Tu sais comment j'ai souffert pour avoir la grossesse si. Tu sais comment j'ai souffert pour élever mon enfant si. Tu n'as aucun droit pour parler. C'est ce que certains parents disent. C'est ce que certains parents disent. Et puis, tu vois maintenant que le niveau éducationnel, ça baisse. Ça baisse, les enfants n'ont pas le temps pour vraiment apprendre. Le professeur est en train d'enseigner et ils sont derrière la classe en train de faire autre chose, surtout avec leur téléphone. Et toi, tu penses que tu es avec eux. Non. Et puis, il y a la pression qui vient des gens du même groupe. Et tout ça, elle a compris en disant que tout ça, c'est parce qu'il y a manque de guide moral au niveau de la famille. Les parents ne font pas leur rôle comme il faut faire. Parce que quand on fait bien notre rôle, ça serait difficile que l'enfant soit comme ça, que l'enfant devienne comme ça. Oui, I think I translated, I tried.
Yeah, you have really tried. You've done so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
What?
Yes.
The message is going through. And so lastly, we'll look at the effects of it on the community as a whole. You see, juvenile delinquency is something that is related to drug use, drug addiction, gangsterism, alcohol abuse, sexual misbehavior, and all of that. And so this leads to unsafe neighborhoods. The society suffers because people feel insecure. People do not feel safe any longer in their neighborhoods. And this leads to an increasing cost of public expenditure on law enforcement and even for school safety. And so it has a very devastating effect on the society and even on government expenditure, because the government has to spend more on maintaining law and order. Maybe you do that, and then we go to the solutions. You just translate this one, then we go to the solutions.
Ok. Donc, la dernière partie des effets, c'est l'effet sur la communauté. Et l'effet sur la communauté, elle insiste parce qu'à côté de nous, là, il y a beaucoup de gangs, des braqueurs, les gens terribles, les enfants qui droguent. Tu vois que même ton quartier n'est pas en sécurité. On a parfois peur de rentrer à une certaine heure à la maison parce que tu te dis, ah, peut-être quelqu'un à la barrière qui m'attend. Donc, ce qui pousse maintenant les familles à augmenter un peu la sécurité. Tu viens chez moi, la barrière est vraiment haute. Parce que tu te dis, hey, si la bleu fait une barrière qui est bas, ils vont sauter dedans, ils peuvent entrer. Donc, tu vois que ça pousse maintenant les gens à commencer à dépenser beaucoup. Ils dépensent beaucoup parce que ils vont faire la sécurité. Et au niveau de l'État, gouvernement aussi, il faut former plus de police, plus de gendarmes, des gens des forces armées pour qu'ils puissent protéger. Parce que si c'est une société où tout est en paix, il n'y a pas de problème, tu attends certains pays comme Dubaï, par exemple. Par exemple, je me rappelle une fois, j'ai laissé mon iPad, j'ai oublié ça dans un restaurant au marché. Pas que c'est un restaurant qui est classe dehors. Non, ils ont gardé ça. Quand je suis revenu là-bas, ils m'ont donné ça. Ils disent, madame, oui, c'est parce qu'on n'avait pas ton contact, comment faire pour vous appeler, mais on a pris ça, on a gardé pour vous. Parce que si tu voles là-bas et on sent que tu as volé, mais on te finit. Et il y a dernièrement, on a vu une vidéo où un gars a violé une petite fille de 6 ans et on a tiré sur lui jusqu'à les policiers et pas personne d'autre. Il y a l'ordre qui est venu de judiciaire qu'on tue le gars là. Donc, ce qui fait que les gens ne peuvent pas faire n'importe quelle bêtise. Mais chez nous, ici, on a peur. On a peur, on n'est pas en sécurité. Il faut que l'État mette beaucoup d'argent pour nous protéger, pour être sûr que les choses vont bien. Donc, c'est ce qu'elle est en train, elle nous a dit là. And what I was just saying to this French folks is that, you know, there was a time I forgot my iPad in a restaurant in Dubai, and a restaurant in the market in Dera. And when I went back, that man had kept my iPad. It's not like it was a luxury restaurant. He said, no, if I knew your phone number, I would have called, but I knew you'll surely come back for it. Because they know there that if you steal, you are in trouble. There is not like jungle justice like here that there are people who come and hit you. No, the military comes, they pick you up. They at times they shoot, like this guy who raped a girl not long ago. Young girl, and you see the police vans came, stopped like that. A policeman took his gun like that and shot that guy. Pop, until he died in cold blood. Then they hung him on the military truck like that, up like that. Who can see that house here and go and rape somebody again? Don't ever try to say, no, this one is high level. Yes. Venus says some parents do not really help schools to give the best of the education to children. They support their children's misbehavior. That's right. That's exactly what we're saying. And I don't know why. We don't know why it is like that these days. Why do parents do such a thing? So, how many minutes have we spent? Hey. Yeah, so you remember now, the formula in this whole thing is that we need to check it up. We need
all right.
Yes.
All right. Check up before we round up.
I'm tired of doing the same things. I'm tired of doing the same things. My territory. Yeah, he likes my territory.
He likes my territory.
He likes my territory. Oh, he likes my territory. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be more for you. There is more. I know there is more. There is more. You took me to another level. another level, take me to another level, another level, another level, another level. Yeah. I'm tired of being on the same place all the time. And I'm tired of crying all the time. I'm tired of crying all the time. I believe your grace is sufficient for me. Your grace is sufficient for me. Your grace can change my story. Your grace will change my story. Hey. He left my territory. Yeah, he left my territory. Yeah, he left my territory. Yeah, he left my territory. It's gonna be more. It's gonna be more. Like you. There is more. I know there is more. There is more. Another level. Another level. Another level. Another level. Another level. Another level. No more being single. I take my body. I take my marriage. I take my control. I take my message. Do you bless me, Papa? I'll never let you go. Do you bless me, Daddy? I'll never let you go. Do you bless me, Papa? I'll never let you go. Do you bless me, Daddy? I'll never let you go. My boss, I can't give my boss, my boss, I can't give my boss, take me to another level, another level, another level, take me to another level, another level, another level.
Wow, parents, God will take us to another level. Another level of understanding how we can take care of these children so that there will be no more delinquent children around. Yes. All the tears is going to wipe all the tears away from our eyes, and we are going to be happy parents because our children will be doing so well in Jesus' name. Oh yeah, I'll continue.
Amen.
Let's continue.
All right, now
yes. How you enjoy? You enjoyed? I saw you dancing seriously.
So well, I had a lot of fun. I'm feeling good inside.
I know. Okay, now we are going to get on the last section of this program. Welcome if you're just joining us. Welcome to Dr. Feel Good Inside Out Talk Time. Feel Good Inside Out, bringing out the best version of you. And we are going to look at the last section of this program for today, talking about the solutions. How can we remedy this solution? Over to you, to our wonderful guest today, Mrs. Tima Chrissy. Listen to what she says. Listen attentively. If possible, take down notes and put it into practice. Because he who knows and doesn't practice it is not different from somebody who doesn't know. So when we know, we have to put it in practice. Over to you, Mrs. Tima.
No, the Bible tells us that my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Oh, yes.
And if we have opportunity to impact the knowledge, then those of us who have the knowledge must take the opportunity and use the knowledge.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
so far, like an educationist, we have looked at the meaning of juvenile delinquency. We have
Mm-hmm.
looked at the causes of juvenile delinquency. We have
Yes.
looked at the effects of juvenile delinquency.
At
And
different
now,
levels. Yeah.
yeah, different levels. The
Mm-hmm.
impact on the society, on the victim, on the delinquent himself, on the family,
Mm-hmm.
on the government, and on the society as a whole. And now we want to look at the proposed solutions. This, how do we go about it to reduce this devastating cankerworm that is destroying the fabric of society?
Exactly. It's really a
It's
canker worm.
Yes, it's a very serious problem, because if truly we do not take care of this problem now, then we will just have to do with a rotten society in future where none of us will be able to live in,
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
because the trend is growing alarmingly. And so
Mm-hmm.
something must be done, and done fast. And
Mm.
so, in looking at the causes of the juvenile
So
delinquency, the
somebody,
impact,
somebody wrote something very interesting here. Rachel said, "Mrs. Tima, you too much. Oh, you are equipped. You are well equipped."
we thank God, we thank God, we thank God.
Okay, continue. Sorry
And
for
so we see
disturbing you.
that,
Yes, just go
yeah,
ahead. Uh-huh.
we saw in looking at the causes that the highest proportion of the causes of this juvenile delinquency was from the dysfunctionality of our families.
Homes.
It means
Mm-hmm.
the families have become so destabilized in their functioning that
Mm-hmm.
that we need to sit back as parents and ask ourselves, what
Mm-hmm.
can we do to make things better?
Yes,
And so,
that's
if we
right.
must look for solutions for this juvenile delinquency, then I would advise that we go back.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia advises that parents should sit back and take stock and introspect and see what they
Mm-hmm.
can do
Mm-hmm.
to forge into
That's
a
right.
bright for their parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see that what we need to do is engage families in a more active role in the development of their kids. Let parents be more actively involved in the development of their kids. The whole issue here is not just about having children, but having children who are well raised, because these
That's it.
children are blessing from God, and we have the divine responsibility to take care of God's creation.
Can you just say that again? Because that's what most people don't know. That is their
Yes,
responsibility. It's not because, oh, as God give
yes,
them, I just be born am, and you just
no.
have them and dump. You don't even care. No,
The
it's your
the
duty, because on that judgment day you stand in front of the throne of God and you answer
yes,
questions. Yes.
yes. I just said children are a gift from God, and they are a
Mm-hmm.
blessing.
Oh,
But
yes.
they only truly be a blessing in the real sense if we as parents do not fail in our parental responsibility by raising them up in the fear of the Lord. If
Yes.
we raise these children with a firm hand of discipline, they will grow up to be good. Just like you quoted the situation in Dubai. People are afraid to steal in Dubai because if you steal the first time, your one hand will be amputated. See in Saudi Arabia, if you steal the
Yeah,
first
oh,
time, they
that there is even worse.
you to sin. And you steal the second time, they amputate the other hand. So you have nothing to use to steal with. You cannot steal with your legs.
You cannot
And
see
so,
your legs.
yes, even though we are not saying that the government should go to extreme, but we are saying
No.
that as parents, we need to be very disciplined in the way we raise our children. Because the Bible says it is good to bend an iron when it is hot.
God.
Because
Yes.
when the iron gets cold, you can no longer bend it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are like clay in the potter's hands.
Mm-hmm.
The children are clay in our hands. Let us form them in the right way, its form, the desired form. And so we as parents, we need to give our children that quality time that they need so that we follow them up a step of the way. Who are their friends? What kind of friends do they have? What are the friends doing? What type of homes do the friends come from? Who are the parents of our children's friends? We need to follow them up. We need to know their teachers and follow up the teachers. Find out from the teachers, how is my child doing in school? Is he good? Is he bad? And then from there, the teacher will be able to advise you as parents so that you know how to guide your children. It's unfortunate that now you find children returning from school in their school uniforms, talking at a road junction at 7:30 p.m. in the night. What are they talking about?
Eating soya. Eating soya. Shajo bread. Yeah.
In school uniform. Yes. Yeah, it is terrible. And so if we parents could give our children more time, if we as parents could also be role models for our children, then the children will learn what they are living and they will not become juvenile delinquents. If we as parents could also understand that our own character will determine the character of our children, then we will do everything to be better behaved and to be good moral persons, so that in future we have a moral society. Then the level of juvenile delinquency will drop. Let me stop there and you move, you go, you translate before we continue.
I know. Donc, on passe maintenant à la solution. Et comme elle nous a dit avant que tout commence par la famille, par le dysfonctionnement de la famille. Donc, première chose, c'est qu'il faut arranger la famille pour que la famille fonctionne bien. Et comment on doit faire? Les parents doivent s'engager d'abord pour faire, je peux dire, une auto-évaluation de leur état. Voir un peu qu'est-ce qu'on fait qui n'est pas bien. Et qu'est-ce qu'on peut changer pour améliorer la façon qu'on élève nos enfants. C'est très important. Comme la Bible dit bien, les enfants sont des bénédictions, mais bien sûr, ils seront seulement bénédictions si on les élève de la façon que Dieu a prévu qu'on les élève. N'attends pas que tu élèves l'enfant n'importe quel voyou et demain tu attends que l'enfant devienne bien. Non, ça ne peut pas marcher comme ça. Et comme parents maintenant, on doit être très discipliné. De la façon que nous-mêmes on fait. Si toi, tu dis aux enfants, c'est pas bien de sortir la nuit. Et toi-même, parent, toutes les nuits, tu es dehors, tu rentres à la maison sous. Toutes les nuits, tu es dehors, tu es en train d'apprendre quelle leçon à l'enfant. C'est pour lui dire, c'est normal, la vie de la nuit, c'est bien. Donc, il faut que nous, on soit disciplinés d'abord comme parents. Et on dit bien que il faut cogner le fer quand c'est chaud. C'est là où on peut donner la forme du fer. Donc, il ne faut pas attendre que l'enfant devienne déjà très délicat, très avant de commencer maintenant à l'arranger. On doit être les parents qui sont vigilants. Et dès qu'on voit que l'enfant commence déjà à faire des choses qui n'est pas bien, on commence à lui mettre droit déjà à ces points-là. Il faut passer beaucoup de temps avec ses enfants. S'il vous plaît, les parents, il faut créer le moment pour causer avec les enfants, pour qu'ils puissent vous dire s'ils ont des difficultés ou pas. Passez le temps avec ses enfants. Cause avec eux, ça peut les, surtout quand vous voyez qu'ils commencent déjà à être une façon qui n'est pas bien, on doit causer avec eux. Il faut connaître vos enfants, les amis de leurs amis. Leurs amis. Ton enfant marche avec qui? Qui est les parents de ces amis-là? Comment est leur maison? Comment ils fonctionnent? Quelle est la réputation de leur famille? C'est notre droit de connaître tout ça. Parce que tu peux faire ton bon travail pour bien les élever à la maison. Ils ne sortent pas à l'école et ceux qui choisissent comme amis lui montrent la façon de faire des choses de façon mauvaise, très mauvaise. Toi, tu n'as pas contrôle sur ça. Il faut aussi chercher au niveau des professeurs. Prends le temps, aller à l'école, demande au professeur, oh, comment va mon élève Viviane? Comment elle va? Comment elle se comporte? Comment tu vois? Et les professeurs vont te dire, parce que tu vas lui dire, dis-moi honnêtement. Il ne va pas cacher, il va te dire bien ce que cet enfant fait ou bien comment on peut faire pour l'aider. Donc, c'est très, très bien parce que notre caractère va déterminer maintenant le caractère de cet enfant. Donc, on dit souvent que les fruits ne tombent pas loin de l'arbre. Donc, si ton enfant est mauvais, ça veut dire que toi-même, il y a quelque chose de mauvais aussi dans toi. Donc, on doit regarder tout ça et ajuster d'abord.
Show me the fruit and I will show you the tree.
That's it. That is it. Yes, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. No. So if you don't take time to find out from the teacher or find out what is wrong with your child, is the child okay? Even from the other, neighbors, whosoever that and give you real information. Then tomorrow, don't blame this child because it's simply copying the parents. Yeah.
Good. Another solution to this, thank you very much. Another solution is looking at it educationally, we see that our educational standards have really fallen, and our school systems are like breaking down, because it is not just we have mass production of children as graduates who are not educated.
Yes.
who are literate but not educated. They have not had the formal education, the moral education, the civic education that the schools are meant to give them. And so our school curriculum needs to be revisited by the authorities that be. And then the whole idea of wiping away corporal punishment in schools and making it even weakening the roles of the teachers by even allowing parents to come into schools to beat up teachers for disciplining students. I mean, that is something we should take seriously, because that weakens the teacher. And so you find a situation where children are playing in class with their Android phones. They are watching pornography. The teacher cannot seize the phone. The teacher cannot beat them up. The teacher cannot reprimand them, because the teacher is afraid that the parents will show up as big directors and ministers, and then they harass the teacher, or they cut his salary, and maybe get him even locked up or beaten up by some thugs. And so our authorities need to revisit our educational standards and our system.
Well, I think that's a very, very powerful point. Very powerful point. And as usual, I say I wish there was somebody in the government who is also following us, or who will follow after, because there are so many people that don't watch it live, but they always go back and watch it. Yes, so we pray that somebody up there will watch it and see how they can do all what we are just saying. Donc maintenant, il est en train de parler maintenant les solutions au niveau de l'éducation, en disant que maintenant, le niveau éducationnel a tellement chuté, ça a tellement tombé que les enfants, tu vois, ils sont en train de sortir avec la licence, mais ils sont vides, ils ne sont pas éduqués. Quelqu'un qui sort avec licence ne peut même pas écrire un bon anglais ou un bon français. Il ne connaît rien, il connaît seulement quelque chose qu'il a appris à l'école. Parce que mais aujourd'hui, il y a tous les moyens de finir l'école. Tu donnes l'argent, on va te donner les notes. Tu trouves des mauvaises choses, trop de fraudes que les gens fraudent, tu vois, pour qu'ils passent l'examen. Et elle dit, il faut que l'État voit comment changer même le curriculum, comment on appelle ça en français, je ne sais pas, mais le programme de l'école, il faut qu'on revoie ça. Il ne faut pas qu'on choisisse un livre pour l'école seulement parce que c'est tel qui a écrit le livre et maintenant on veut promouvoir son business. Il faut prendre le livre de tel, il faut prendre le livre de mon cousin, le livre de ma tante, le livre, et on laisse les livres des gens qui ont vraiment écrire des choses qui vont bénéficier aux enfants. Et elle a beaucoup insisté sur quelque chose parce que l'État est en train d'enlever ce qu'on appelle à la punition du groupe, corporate punishment. Parce que je ne me rappelle à l'époque quand j'étais à l'école secondaire à l'internat, si on vient comme ça, la classe vous fait trop de bruit, c'est toute la classe qui sort pour aller faire le punishment, la punition. On va dire, couper les arbres ici comme ça, c'est tout le monde. Donc, tout le monde se soit impliqué. Mais aujourd'hui, les enseignants ont même peur de discipliner les enfants. Tu attrapes un enfant avec un téléphone Android qui est en train de regarder les vidéos pornographiques. Tu n'as pas le droit de parler parce que tu veux parler, un parent vient te gifler même à l'école. On peut même couper ton salaire. Quelqu'un va dire, tu connais qui je suis. Même les enfants disent ça aux enseignants. Tu me connais, tu connais mon père ou tu connais ma mère. Donc, on est maintenant à une époque où les gens mettent leur gloire sur les autres personnes. Je suis content d'être, tu connais mon père. Toi-même, tu es qui? Toi-même, tu es qui? Que tu parles de ton père. Donc, c'est ce qu'elle est en train d'insister. And that's what we really need to insist. This whole thing of, do you know who I am? Do you know my parents? You want to talk about Vivian Tabon? You know Vivian Tabon? Oh, the daughter of Bacha, who was this director. It shouldn't be like that, because linking it like that all the time makes the child just feel so full of himself and think that he has finally arrived. Meanwhile, he has not arrived. He has still not arrived. So those are some of the solutions that we have to bring, at the level of the family, at the level of the school, at the level of the community, the government. Those are some of the things that are very, very important. That are very, very important. And we've heard a lot. She just, I don't know what happened. The thing cut off just almost when I had to stop her, So in reality, I can say, there are some little tips that we can do as parents. As parents, we need to learn to talk to our children. We talk to our children. We spend a bit time with our children. It's very important. We encourage extracurricular activities. I'm sure she had to come to this because it's another interesting point. What do your children do after school? If they're not home, where are they? You know, remember in those days when some of us were growing up, during holidays, we had to go for extracurricular activities. It may be learning how to sew. It may be cross-stitching. The boys will learn how to, it may be go to play football or anything that you know is helpful for the upbringing of that child. You need to put in extracurricular activities in the life of your children. It's very, very important, very, very important. And they have to remain firm, as she says, be able to discipline these children, discipline them. They say a bended stick cannot be straightened. If you allow them until they get bended, then, you know, everybody, you allow them to be bended, then it will be difficult. You know, as Rachel says, everybody has to make his or her own family name, not names of our parents. That's true. That's what, you know, be who you are. Be proud one day when you are leaving this world. Be proud to say that, I'm leaving this world, I've left a legacy. It's very, very important. Don't be counting on your parents, what they achieved or who they are. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. You are a personality on your own. You have your own gifts from God. Use it. Use it and become who you are created to be. Fulfill your purpose on this earth. You don't fulfill your purpose. Look at some other person who has fulfilled his own purposes. It's of no use, you know. And then you have these community activities. I remember in those days we used to have a third-term holidays. They used to have a, how do they call it, a holiday camp. There used to be like holiday camping where these children go on camp, and during the camping they learn certain things. You know, it was very, very important. They used to learn things during camping. Yes, during holiday camps, you go and learn this and learn that. It keeps the child really busy. You know, it keeps the child busy and they don't really have time to go and do funny things. So I was just talking about these extracurricular activities for our children, you know, which can also help. You know, I was just trying to talk while you come back online, and we just want to now be far above time. You know, something is very interesting. I just need to keep going. This 1 hour, 7 minutes gone. I would like if you can just give your last words to all these wonderful people who are listening to us today.
Okay, I want to thank you, Dr. Feel Good Inside Out. It was really good being on your program, and I'm proud of this program because God is using you mightily to impact lives, and I believe through you God will be able to change many lives and reform and transform our delinquents into better citizens. Our prayer too is that the parents should do their own role so the children can be better off and the society as a whole will be better one. But notwithstanding, the government should also take its role. It's a duty of government to take care of the well-being. We pray for and thank audience to thank you for giving me the privilege to give you the little that. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. It's not little, it's too much. You've given us too much today. And I want to thank God because the network has behaved itself until the last minute, you know, when it starts serving. So I thank God. I was just praying that this network should not help us today because people have been writing to me saying they're waiting for this program today. So I'm happy that we went through. Thank you for your availability. You know, it's not everybody who have the time to come and share, you know, but since I know that you are somebody who loves impacting lives in so many ways, I want to say thank you. And together, you know, people listening to this program, they'll learn something good. Comme elle a bien résumé, elle a résumé sur 4 volets. Ça, c'est un problème. Ça, c'est un problème qui concerne, et les parents doivent faire leur travail aussi dedans. L'enfant aussi a son travail à faire dedans. La communauté a l'éducation au niveau de l'enseignement, ils ont leur part à faire dedans. Et puis le gouvernement a aussi quelque chose à faire dedans. Et si on travaille ensemble, c'est un travail qui doit être ensemble. quand on travaille ensemble, on va diminuer le nombre de cas de délinquants qui sont dehors et on va voir que les choses ont bien évolué. Et je tiens à la remercier beaucoup parce que ce n'est pas tout le monde qui aime partager leurs connaissances comme ça. Non, ce n'est pas tout le monde. Donc, nous sommes très contents qu'elle est là avec nous. Elle a partagé sa connaissance et dans l'avenir encore, on va sûrement l'inviter encore si elle est disponible, parce qu'elle est souvent très occupée aussi. Mais on va voir comment on peut arracher encore un peu de temps pour qu'elle vienne aussi nous éduquer sur beaucoup d'autres plans, même sur le plan familial. Parce que tout à l'heure, on parlait des choses qui commencent à la maison. Il faut que les gens sachent comment faire. So, Mrs. Sima, it was such a joy having you here. Can you just clap for her? Can we just clap for her? The other day, I was not aware of clapping. I'm going to do it on behalf of all my fans, my followers. They call it the Dibucha clap. It's Russia who taught us this. He says, you just start slowly and you increase the rainfall and then you shoot it. So I'll do it. Oh, catch it. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't go wherever. Just stay put out. You are going off the pole, but thanks this last record before you leave. Yeah, so once again, this is Dr. Feelgood Inside Out, and we are so happy that we've come to the end of this program. Can we just dance? No, this is not the one I want.
I love it, just control. I'm tired of the beats. I'm in the music. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. This one's in my blood. It's in my blood now. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. This one's in my blood. Every night I just feel it. I love it, just control it. It's in my blood now. It's in my blood, it's in my blood, this one's in my blood, it's in my blood, just to tell you, don't want you to match up the places, I'm gonna buy you this one pass you my race, I tell it on my race, Mama don't give me blessing, now they run this place, see the fresh guys pass on this, I got too good in another place, superstar now we the number one, we gonna carry the ball, every day we rise to the top. But don't let me know. Without me, come here, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter who you are. I got too good in the day. Superstar, now we the number one. We gonna carry the ball. Every day we
Thanks Thanks for watching Dr. Feel Good Inside Out Talk Time. Another wonderful Saturday in your presence. Thank you all those who just joined after. I can see Boma, my own senior brother, is right there. Maggie, Akume, thanks, Maggie. Thanks to all those who are there. Once again, we are calling it a date. We had a special, wonderful guest today. And if you didn't start this program at the beginning, please go back and watch the full program because there's so much to learn. We are all parents or will be parents. And there's so much we need to learn. I love you all so much. But remember, God loves you more. Bye. See you next Saturday. Love you all. Yes, yes.